Hey guys, it's MarksChild here. It's June 16th, and we have just crossed over into Mythic. This deck came in at 93%. I had spent the last 4 days stumbling around in Diamond 1, so I do think this deck is a strong 93. Probably should be a little higher, but we stumbled right at the finish line. As far as matchup go, it struggles against mono green, Ouroborid plus Trample. We do a lot of chump blocking, so there's not a lot of safe space for that. It also struggles heavily against Jeskai control. They just can control and get to the win con better than we can, and anything running resonating loot. Just having a one-turn OTK is just stronger than trying to do the 3-card version. Now, those are its weaknesses. The strengths are it beats anything with black. Skeletons, it'll beat every time. Discard, it beats every time. The weird black-green life gain, it beats every time. It also does very well against the other Izzet combos, whether it's Lessons or Elementals or Prowess. Sometimes Prowess can get underneath you, but most of the time that's actually a good matchup for us. And then it's probably about 50-50 against goblins, whether or not they have the ping coming back. And then the off meta deck it's kind of bad at is the Boros ping you in the face. But that being said, very, very competitive, pretty matchup heavy. You'll go on huge win streaks or huge losing streaks, but very, very fun. Very great suggestions for challenge cards this month. I'll go through each card now and show how it plays into the deck. So Storm Chaser's talent, there's only 2. Everybody probably knows what this card does. It's really there to make a chump blocker, and then if you mill cards with either Tamiyo or Scout the City, you can bring back the Harmless Offering, or a lot of times we want to repeat Season of Weaving, Lessons of Life, or some of the other ones. Shifting Grift is very similar to Harmless Offering. It works for us to trade Tamiyo, but it has a little different playstyle, so it's not just a dead card in your hand unless you're going for the combo. Sometimes you'll trade a bird for one of your opponent's better creatures, or even trade out an enchantment, which is probably the biggest thing it does. Is like if Fenrir's on the field and I don't really care about the card draw, I'll trade it for whatever powerful enchantment my opponent controls, and then they just don't have it. And not a great way to even like bring it back from the graveyard or something. Glimpse of the Core is just growth, but it also procs Riku of many paths. Scout the City is really in there for life gain. It's also a good dig tool for either the Water Crystal or Tale of Tamiyo when need be. But really for the life gain, struggling against aggro matchups, that little bit of life gain really helps a lot. You'll probably use Look Around 90% of the time, but destroy target creature with flying definitely has its uses and definitely came in clutch many times, so don't forget about that second part of the card. Share Roots is just straight up card growth. It helps even out the curve to get Riku of many paths and Dragonback Assault out. We're only running 2 mountains. There's a splash of dual colors in there too to help fix that, but red's not the thing to go for, but this helps you get just that 1 red to make the deck good. Prismari Charm is really our only counter to the mono green when they have Trample to put them back into their hands. So, and every now and then you need it for like high noon or something that'll completely block you as just another combo additive. But yeah, only 2 of because it's just kind of a niche card that you need. If I was building a sideboard, I'd probably add more of these. Summon Fenrir is just there for growth. Good blocker, adds counter to Riku. Covered these 4 cards as the key combo pieces. Lessons of Life is a one-off just to draw cards, a little bit of growth. Could be cut, but I felt it helped smooth out the deck a little bit, giving us another 4-drop. Season of Weaving is heart and soul this deck, as long with the combo pieces and the challenge cards. A lot of times you'll use it just to draw 5. You can repeat it with Storm Chaser's talent by, if you get 11 mana, you cast it, bounce, bring out Storm Chaser's talent, bring it back. So it's a very, very powerful delay tool, but a lot of times it's just great draw engine because you'll grow, maybe bounce once, or grow, wipe the board, and then you have nothing in hand. So you're going to want to play from advantage. You really need the card draw. Dragonback's Assault's the board wipe, creates tokens. Great defensive tool more than anything. Does close out some games. It's kind of the second win con. And then Turtles in Time. Basically, if you whiff with Tamiyo and you throw 2 water crystals into the graveyard, you have no way of getting them back because Storm Chaser's talent only works on instants and sorceries. This lets you put everything back in your hand. It also is our only true board wipe. One of the weaknesses of the deck is large tokens, but this kind of negates that, especially the mono black Flying Demon 6/6 token that comes out from their draw card. I'm blanking on the name. So this is really there for that true board wipe. Also, usually a draw 7, because a lot of times you're drawing, emptying your hand, and then drawing again. And so really the key is just you get all the lands out of your deck. We're going to draw better than our opponents. This deck has a lot of ups and downs, very matchup orientated. So like you see the black land, you can kind of give a sigh of relief. And then everything else, it's kind of, you fight for it. Still does really well, like I said, against the red blue. But has some poor matchups as well. So with that said, we'll get into some games. Came in at 93%. Hopefully I can cover some of the cool combos in these matches here, and then that'll be it. So say we're playing at 95%. So I think the game thinks we came in we're a high 93, I guess. That's the way I'd put it. For opening hands, really just want to make sure you have blue-green. If you have like both Prismari Charms, you can run blue-red just because you can guarantee that you're going to draw one. But then I try to get 1 or 2 growth cards. Here we have Fenrir. So there's growth. This is like also growth. And then the rest doesn't really matter. So we got black-green. Which bodes well for us. Assuming it's not just a weird Ouroboros deck. But even then, a lot of times you can just chump through it. Sometimes you want to go for dual red, just because Riku can combo with Prismari Charm and you need the 2 reds. Here, just having the Frontier Biovac, I'm probably just going to push for more blue. Whenever you play a growth card, you really don't want to take green unless you're super struggling, because Glimpse of the Core can only draw the forest. And you don't want to be starving the dig later, because it's also useful to proc on Dragonback Assault. We have 2 parts of the combo here, but another key thing is that you can't be afraid to drop, especially Tale of Tamiyo. Because a lot of times, like I can bring back Harmless Offering and sometimes they'll just give you nice card draw by chance, and a lot of times they just ignore it and let you cast from your graveyard. So by the time this thing procs, I'll probably have a Season of Weaving or something in the graveyard, and I can just do a full bounce or a full new set of cards. So there we go. I put 2 in the graveyard. Which that's a little unfortunate. But well, we're milling pretty terribly. But you can't let that get you down. I'm assuming he's sitting on a lot of control, so Riku's probably just going to be out there just to eat mana. And a lot of people you'll find don't know what our deck's doing. So it views a lot of things that aren't real threats as threats. So I think part of the reason I stalled out in Diamond is I played the same people multiple times, and you'll often beat them the first go. The second time through, they'll hold back and wait to destroy the water crystal, which is kind of the weak point, but often won't be targeted. So we're going a little bit on a timer. And this is a land creature, so I can't bounce it back no matter what. So we'll just see if I can see if I can annoy him. So I'm going to play the water crystal here, largely because I'm probably going to shuffle my graveyard back in. Turtles in Time doesn't attack any of the cards. What am I trying to say? It doesn't target enchantments or artifacts. So as Turtle in Time, I'm going to go for the combo. As far as that goes, I'd like to sit the pieces out and then play Turtles in Time. So I only need to hit the 1, right? It's like, if let's say I was at 9 mana, I already played Water Crystal, I could throw Tale of Tamiyo out even because it takes an extra turn to get through, and then hard dig just for the 1. So here, I actually don't know if I want to do any of these, because I think Dragonback Assaulteer is the best play I got. And then I'll just Turtles in Time later with Tale of Tamiyo on the field and hope that I only need 1 turn to get Harmless Offering. But we are getting very close to dying. Shouldn't have bragged so much about how well it does against black. This Restless Cottage is destroying us. So, basically, what we're hoping for is bring it down, or scout the city, bring it down. So it would have given us the heal here. Also bought us a turn because we'll get some chump out. All right, so 49 is the top, which would be 6. So 48 would be 5. 47 would be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have it anyway because he milled. He got rid of my. I got rid of my graveyard. Never mind. Doesn't matter. We're doing fine. All right, now it's in our graveyard. Okay, so math. 1, 2. All right. So that's 2. It's 4 to bring it back. 4, 5, 6. 3 to cast. I would have 2 left. Which is probably enough. 45 gives him 2 cards to hit, though, but do I think the 3 heal is better? He's going to draw a card at the end of his turn, so if it gets that far, at the least it'll be as a draw, even if he gets a demon out. And he hit my face, right? It's got 3 mana. I actually think he might have drew. Oh no, because they'd trigger one at a time. There we go. We went from 93 to still at 93. But that was a good example of how to play the deck. I was closer than a lot of black games are, but no games to give me. Interesting. I played a 95-1, and then it gives me an 87. A lot of times I'll play Shared Roots over Glimpse of the Core just in case I get Tamiyo Mini Pass or Riku of Mini Pass, since Shared Roots can't proc that. We're just going to keep growing. Hopefully we get a land and this spider doesn't get too big. A little worried. Clearly still sitting on he's clearly sitting on something that makes it invulnerable. So even with the Dragonback Assault, it's probably not going to wipe it out. And if I didn't play this, we would have had the OTK in 2 turns because he's not going to have anything to block it. But that's all right. If I can get this 6th land. Here comes the invulnerability. Which one's he going to pick? Smart choice. Yeah, that's disappointing. But maybe, just maybe, he has 2 lands. This isn't a matchup we particularly struggle against. Normally we actually win, just either bounce or Dragonback Assault's normally enough at this point. Okay. Double block here, double block there, block here. We're still okay. I might just single block here and then bounce. For sure what's happening now. Need to double block this. Then block. Now the Riku benefits happen. I think I'm going to hold back on the lands and try to regroup with the assault. This card will be around until the end of my next turn. So I can also, if he tries to put like Ghost in the Shell or something, I can block it. Yeah, I'm just going to draw. $42, so that is a multiple of